Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. Will this be another Piranha 1995, or will they actually do something different? Humanoids from the Deep. The 1996 remake of the 1980 film of the same name. Make sure to check out my previous review for the original, Humanoids from the Deep. The plot. So there's a guy who's hiring a whole bunch of goons to go dump toxic waste into the water, which in turn doesn't actually create the salmon men. That's a government experiment. Which is not a spoiler because it's pretty much shown right from the get-go, right at the beginning of the movie. And, well, you know, they're around, and they're killing, and they're impregnating women. So it's pretty much the original, but with some twists. Well, okay, now I'm on board. To say this is a bad remake is like saying the original movie sucks in a way. While it's not as sleazy as the original, it still adds enough to deviate and to keep the audience engaged. I like that certain things here were better explained than they were handled in the original. The carnival is taking place in another town where they didn't know the humanoids were surrounding. The titular humanoids are not just mutated salmon. They are something else that is within reason for a cheesy sci-fi B-movie. For the characters, we have Wade Barker, played by Robert Carradine from Attack of the Sabertooth, and Sharktopus vs. Terracuda. I like Robert Carradine as an actor. He's very down-to-earth and easygoing, and much like his character in the movie, he cares. He cares about this town as well as the businesses and what's going on. He's a good sheriff in the movie. Matt has a really annoying laugh in the movie. Me and my mom couldn't stop laughing at him or mocking him even. That's it. Anyways, Matt is played by Justin Walker, and he's an activist. He's very into saving the oceans and the animals that are inside it. He kind of comes around at the end and is like, you know what, we have to stop these things and save the ocean at the same time. So he kind of gets what he wants, but at the price of many. He wasn't the cause of the problem, though, so it's not on him. He can feel at fault, sure, but it's not his fault. Why would it even be his fault? What am I even talking about? Dr. Drake, played by Emma Samms, plays a character that we're very familiar with, an outsider coming into the town who's a scientist. But here it's kind of different. She's undercover as a reporter until things get really bad. She's asking all these weird questions, like how many of them were there? It leads to her revealing that she's a scientist and she had some hand in the project, where she can be kind of held at fault slightly, even though she told them not to do it. I like when she's on the TV telling them, like, here's your evidence, when they capture one of the humanoids. She's like, here's your evidence. And the guy's like, that bitch. Great stuff. Bill Taylor, played by Mark Rolston from Saw 5, Saw 6, and Aliens. Well, he played Drake in that movie. Is the guy who is dumping all the toxic sludge into the water. Well, he's hiring goons to do it for him. Yeah, it's not leading to good results. Even though the town is prospering, they'll soon be dying. And finally, we have Kim Parker, played by Danielle Weeks. Kim Parker is the daughter of Wade, and she is going out with Matt, and there's not much to her character. She does help to free herself from the humanoids' clutches along with Dr. Drake, but in the end, do we need her character? I don't know. We also have Clint Howard as a deputy, which is always awesome to have Clint Howard in a movie. He is actually not acting crazy in this movie, surprisingly. He's very understanding of what has to be said in the interrogation room to get under Matt's skin when his girlfriend is taken. He's like, did you know these monsters personally? So they shared with you their intent to kill. Oh, Clint, we love you. Also of note, Kaz Garris plays a sheriff in both the 1995 remake of Piranha and this movie, The More You Know. While this movie does things that are better than the original, it still loses some of the ferocity and sleazy nature of that film. Which leads me to the gore, the effects. We get some nice, thick 90s blood. And gore, with the decapitation, bloody claw marks, mangled dead bodies, 3 belly bursting scenes. That's a record there. And some more. While it's not as grimy as the original, it still delivers on some of the goods. Also, if you were not a fan of the rape in the original, all the on-screen rape of that film, no matter how brief, has been removed from this movie. They used some stock footage later on in the film and even sprinkled throughout, so I don't know where the line was drawn. Thankfully, the stock footage is not as egregious as it was in the 1995 remake of Piranha. And, oh yeah, they actually have bitchin' monster suits in this movie. Yeah, the humanoids look great in this flick. They're, dare I say, better than the humanoids from the original. They also have projectile grabbers of sorts that come out of their mouth, only used once but still appreciated. The motion picture soundtrack, I had the CD from Humanoids from the Deep, the original, in my last video. I put it away and now I can't go get it because the camera's in the way. But that CD for the original also has some suits from this movie. Christopher Lenertz returns with some help from Ben McCain this time around. While the music is nowhere near as fitting as the James Horner score in the original, it's cheesy and fun nevertheless. It's generic 90s B-movie music. Nothing too deep even when it tries to be. No pun intended. This is a better made, but mostly forgettable remake to a cult classic. Even the ending, which has a twist, is a bit less shocking, because you know what happens to at least one of the women. However, the twist was a nice touch. I do like the new ideas brought in, and the effects range from cheap to downright awesome. Check this one out if you want some more humanoid horror. Overall, I give Humanoids from the Deep a 2 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the Horror Show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon, where even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Plus, you get access to body counts and other music videos that you can't get on YouTube because of copyright and age restriction. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And as always, subscribe.